Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode. In today's video, I want us to get a look into a car which nowadays has become very popular here in Kenya. And the car that we'll be looking into is the Mazda Axela. And one thing you'll be realizing is that this is a car which is bringing competition, very stiff competition here in Kenya. We are talking about its competitors include cars like the Toyota Axia. We also have cars like the Toyota Premium. But with this car, it gets to bring you both luxury as well as liability. So stick around for this conversation as I'll be taking you through these discussion. My name is Willie, and of course, if it's your first time coming across my videos and you haven't hit the subscribe button, which is just below here, please consider doing so, as well as let's have a conversation. Let me hear your thoughts regarding this car in the comment section, and I will really appreciate. So for now, let's just go ahead. I will take a short break, and I'll see you in the main segment. Well, guys, when we get to talk about the Mazda Axela, it's important we get to understand that they do come with different versions. We have those ones which are hatchback, as well as there are those ones which are sedan, but both they get used to the same motor by the car. So, in terms of the shape, that's where we get to see a lot of differences. But I will be looking into in this particular episode, and that's what I'm prepared to take you through. It's also important, guys, that you get to understand these cars are the Mazda Axela. Mostly, they're usually outsourced from Japan, especially the units that you get to see here in Kenya. Mostly, they get to come from that is Japan. And of course, with the Mazda Axela, it's known for its stylish design, good performance, as well as fuel efficiency. So stick around because in the next section, we'll be looking into the engine specs. Talking of Mazda Axela, the engine that gets to power this car is none other is the engine which is known as the Sky Active engine, and this is an engine which this advanced technology, sorry, really gets to help this car to show some tremendous performance because it really gets to save when it comes to fuel consumption, as well as it has a lot of power. We're talking about an engine, particularly what we'll be talking about mostly is the petrol engine, the 1.5 liter, because that's what is common here in Kenya. So with this engine, the 1.5 gets to give around 110 horsepower, which is enough to push this engine to its top speed. So that's something that will be really appreciate when you get to have, and that is the Mazda Axela. So this engine is a four-cylinder, as well as it's a petrol, but we also have those versions which are diesel, but they are not very common here in Kenya. So this engine also comes paired with a six-speed manual or an automatic transmission system, depending on the unit that you get. But most of them they're automatic because that's what so many people get to prefer around here. So this car is usually a four-wheel drive, meaning it's usually pushed by the front wheel. So unlike what we get to see in cars like the Toyota Mark X or the Crown, which are usually powered by the rear wheels, this one is usually powered by the front wheel. So that's also something that you get to enjoy when it comes to the front, that is to the Mazda Axela. So there's nothing much to talk about this, but when it comes to fuel consumption, it can comfortably push 15 to 20 kilometers with just 1 liter, which is very economical because you're talking about cars. Some cars they get to just consume 1 liter in every 5 kilometers. You can consider this one having to cover around 15 to 20 kilometers. That's a long distance per liter. So that's also something that you'll be realizing, and one of the strong areas with this engine. And of course, that is being facilitated by this technology, the Sky Active technology, which you'll be seeing mostly with the Mazda cars. So basically, those are some of the few things you need to know about this car. In terms of the engine, it's not a very big engine. So for that case, it doesn't get to place so much weight into the car. Remember, the heavier the car, of course, the higher the fuel consumption. So basically, that's all you need to know about the Mazda Axela in terms of the engine. Now let's just go ahead and get to look at the interior specs. Talking of the interior, this is where the Mazda they get to outdo or outperform Toyota. because when it comes to the interior design, they are really just to do a very nice job. Look at how neat this, and of course how well shaped that dashboard looks. We also have this digital dashboard over here with this slim extension, whereby we also have this ventilation ends, whereby with the climate control system, which is over here, you can get to regulate the temperature in that car. So for this one, this particular unit is a manual. You can see it has three pedals, as well as we have that lever to change the gear system, the gears over there. So there are those ones which are automatic, as I said earlier. Like this one is an automatic unit. You can see this one, it's more of one of the latest models that we have out here. This one, you can see it do comes with a touch screen or a display which is digital. And this one, it's also connected to the steering. That's why you can get to see this control over here. So these buttons, they're just extension of this infotainment system. So in this screen, you get to enjoy things like Google navigation, the climate control knobs there over here. So we also have things like if these, in most cases, these cars do come with cameras, that is front and rear cameras, and you get to adjust all that by these knobs over here. So the windows, they are also electric powered. Windows, the electric powers, meaning you can get to lower them or to raise them by just pressing this button over here. That is the same case with the side mirrors. You can get to fold them by just pressing the button, as well as this where we have the central lock, meaning you can get to lock all the windows as well as all the doors from this side. So that's something that you'll be realizing with the interior of the Mazda Axela. In terms of the seats, most of them, they do come with a cloth or the fabric upholstery, which is the standard for many of them. But there are those ones which gets to come with the leather covered seats, but they are just exceptional units. But most of them, they do come with the cloth or the fabric upholsteries, of which these seats, they are not bad, they're comfortable, and of course, when you're in this car, you feel the comfort as it's expected. You can see there are some units, as I said earlier, there are those ones which gets to come with a leather seat. Looking at the rear seat, remember this car is a five-passenger car, and of course, it's a four-door. So we have three more seats on the back. So if you're two passengers, and you can get to unlock this extension from the seat, and of course you get to get an armrest, which also gets to come with the cup holders, meaning you can get to place your drinks over there. So in terms of things like the legroom, this car is very spacious, which I guess that's one of the reason why people get to use it as a family car. It's very spacious. When you're in front or at the back, you feel very comfortable. So for the case of the sound system, they do come with the Bose system, which gets to give a very good sound in combination with, of course, with the infotainment system over here. Those speakers, they get to give you some very good sound. So these cars, especially the latest models, they do come with advanced features like the drive assist, which is a feature that you get to see in most of the luxury or the high-end cars. And of course, those are some of the specs that you get with these Mazda. So basically, that's all with the interior. Remember, we have also the boot space at the back, but that one we'll be looking into in a short while. So stick around as we get to look at the exterior. Well, the shape of the Mazda Axela is very unique, but it's also close to the Atenza, the Mazda Atenza. With the Axela, you can see, as I said earlier, there are those ones which are hatchback, but there are also those ones which are sedan. So it will depend on the unit that you get. But in terms of the motor that gets to power both, it's all the same. So in most cases, this car comes with around half the 14 or the 15-inch wheels, which gets to give the car some reasonable ground clearance, which gets to help the car to navigate in places which are not tarmacked. And I guess that's one of the reasons why people they get to prefer it, especially here in Kenya. So looking at the shape of this car, the aerodynamic is amazing. And of course, with the large or the long and bonnet, it gets to give the car some very unique shape. Looking at the rear side for the case of the hatchback, you can see how well trimmed the car looks. And And of course, that aerodynamic comes with its own advantage. So, looking at the Mazda, any Mazda car, you can't miss this big Mazda legendary logo, which gets to give the car, of course, the identity. And of course, we do have this big grill. The Mazda do come with a very big grill, as you can see, which gets to allow the radiator, which is under back there, to have good cooling and of course with the proper airflow. So most of the units do comes with the fog lights. That's something that I will be realizing with the Mazda, particularly the Axela. Most of them do come with the fog lights, which gets to give the driver good visibility, without forgetting this big LED halogen headlights, which gets to help the driver to have good visibility, especially when cruising at night. Some of them they do come with a day running lights, which is popular with the latest models. Also, with these headlights, we also have there's a turning signal also incorporated in there. But also, there are some units you will find that the turning signal also placed down here. So you can see how unique the shape of the Mazda Zella looks. So there are those ones which comes with the alloy rims, but there are those ones which will be finding with the metal rims, which also comes with the wheel caps, which is not a bad, which also doesn't look bad to the car, especially those ones which have been added those plastic wheel caps. So as I said earlier, the side mirror also they are foldable, meaning you can get to switch to turn them in or out. So also the low ground clearance also gets to give the car good stability. You're talking about low center of gravity, which is very essential when it comes to how comfortable that car gets to feel, especially when cruising at high speed. So there are those units which comes with a sunroof, glass sunroof, but those ones there are those also units which comes with just standard that is roof. So those are some of the few specs that you'll be realizing with the Mazda Axela. Let me know what you think about the same. If you are in, if you have experienced the car, also talk to me in the comment section. That's all I had for you today, and I look forward to seeing you in our next one. Peace, guys.